So now in the second lecture of coordination compounds, we will be starting now learning with isomerism in coordination compounds. We can learn this unit if we know all the basic terms from the previous topic like ligands and very basic terms. We do not need any nomenclature to learn this topic. So that's why I have kept nomenclature in the forthcoming lecture. We first learn more about the isomerism right away. Now, isomerism, as you are always aware, is a term used in organic chemistry. And in organic chemistry, we hardly come across any isomerism at all. So the meaning remains the same, that isomerism will have two or more compounds with same molecular formula, different physical and chemical properties. Now, the next part is little different here than organic chemistry. They will have a different arrangement of the groups or what you can say ligands around the metal atom. So here different arrangement of constituent atoms indicates difference in the ligands. That will be called the isomers, and the phenomena as usual is isomerism. Now to keep the similarity, they have kept the names also just like organic chemistry here. But of course, wherever they don't match, they have to introduce a new term. Here, isomerism, just like organic chemistry, can be structural, which is further divided as linkage, then comes coordination, then comes ionization, and then hydrate. So, four isomerism types come under structural. The second type is identical to organic chemistry, stereoisomerism, where the first type is geometrical and second is optical. And as we know, geometrical indicates cis and trans. Exactly same terms have been used here also. And under optical, we use in organic chemistry terms dextro, levo, meso, optically active, optically inactive. Everything is identical over here. So these compounds also are going to show the optical activity as we have learned in organic chemistry also. So we will begin first part as structural. We will complete this. Second part, we will go for this one. So today we are going to learn totally six type of these isomers. From exam point of view, when you study these isomers, most common question comes is of two types. If you see board exams, you will get a straightforward answer. Write a short note on. So you need to write a definition, one or two examples, that's all. But when it comes to MCQs, HSC MCQ, CET, JE, NEET, anywhere, more the way they ask question is to identify. So they will give you some compounds, pair of compounds maybe. And from that pair, we have to understand which isomers are they. So when you are learning these things, remember certain shortcuts or tricks so that you can identify whether the given compound is linkage, coordination, ionization. So keep an eye on the structures which we see. That is very important for competitive exams. Let us begin. First one, the easiest of all, linkage isomerism. And in fact, we have seen this last time also in the lecture. In linkage isomerism, first of all, this will be seen because of ambidentate ligands. If you have studied for the last time's part, ambidentate, that means a ligand which has two donor atoms. And at a time, either of the donor atom will be attached. So one of the examples you can see is NO2 group. Now NO2 group can attach through nitrogen, it can attach through oxygen also. So you can see the same example as I've done in previous unit. Here NO2 is written. That means it attaches through nitrogen.
Nitro.
Here ONO, so attached through oxygen. Another example, through sulfur, through nitrogen. And if you remember, we had done third one from that, that
Iron
was
oxide.
cyanide also. So the other groups which you can show are these ones. So NO2, SCN, OCN, S2O3. These are few examples of linkage isomerism. So when you will see this from exam point of view, how will you recognize? You have to pay attention to the part which you can see as a different NO2 ONO. Now here you have an advantage. I have put it in red color and blue color. You can see in exam, obviously there will not be any color. So you have to watch it such that you can see a difference in the bonding. SCN, NSC. In cyanide, it will be CN, other will be NC, cyanide isocyanide. So this is what is known as linkage isomerism. Any other doubt in this? Is this all right? One of the easiest one, very short answer.
So cyanide will also be there.
Same way, yeah, cyanide. I've not given it here, but that also, of course, exists. Next is ionization isomerism. This is another quite easy one to recognize as such. Here, as per the definition, there will be an exchange of the ions outside the coordination sphere and inside. So let us see an example here. Imagine this one. You have SO4 inside the square bracket. Now, inside the square bracket, that is called coordination sphere. Whatever is outside the square bracket is called outer sphere. Outer sphere does not have any coordinate bond. So you can observe the example. I hope everyone understand. SO4 and Br have been exchanged over here. This is what you call as ionization isomer. Practically, how do you recognize them? Practically, in laboratory, I mean, practically in a sense, laboratory, they will give us different tests over here. Like, for example, you can see this particular complex is going to break up this way, while the other one which we showed is going to break in a different way. Now, bromide and sulfate can be checked in laboratory with very simple reagents. If you treat the first complex with silver nitrate, silver combines with bromine and it gives a yellow precipitate of AgBr. While when the second reaction happens and you add barium chloride to it, Ba and SO4 gives a white colored solid formation precipitate. So when first compound is given and you try with BaCl2, you will not get any reaction. This will only work for sulfate. So, for every anions, you have a particular laboratory test. That test will differentiate between the two ionization isomers. Another example I'm giving here, you can see. Now, this is specially given here to understand. You see, inside there were two chloride. Outside there is one nitro group. Not necessary both have gone out. You can see only one chlorine goes out in exchange of NO2. Any doubt about ionization isomerism?
So can't this come in linkage also?
Linkage means your overall formula remains the same. See, overall formula remains same, and whatever is outside the square bracket should remain same. So in linkage, whatever change happens is only inside with one ligand type of bonding.
Okay, sir.
Understood? Shall we go for the third one, that is called hydrate isomerism. And this is quite similar to what we did just now, ionization isomerism. Only difference is here there will be particularly an exchange of water molecules. In ionization isomerism, the exchange was any ligand, chloride, NO2, anything will do. But here the exchange has to be compulsory of water molecule, which is outside and inside. So imagine an example like a compound CrCl3 6H2O. Now we feel this is just a simple compound, but it's not so. This can exist in several different forms. In first form, just watch the line which I'm showing. Don't look at everything, you will get confused. Chromium is connected to 6 water molecule. So here, chromium is a central metal atom. Water is a ligand. While chloride is outside. So you can see number of water molecule which are over here inside are 6 water molecule outside are 0. This complex is violet in color. Now I'm going to do an exchange. One chlorine inside, one water outside. There is a mistake over here. This has to be 1. This will be 5. The color totally changes. Then another exchange. One chlorine taken inside, one more water comes out. This will be 4 and this will be 2. The color again changes. So you can see we are exchanging particularly water molecules. That is called hydrate isomerism. Now the difference here is when water is inside the square bracket, it is actually forming a coordinate bond. When water is outside, dot H2O, we call it as water of crystallization. So in first molecule, water of crystallization are 0. We keep on increasing one by one. Now, if you are going for HSC short notes, you need to remember one example each, because you can't create an example at the time of exam. So better you remember these are all common examples in all the textbooks. My notes, HSC, GTB, NCRT, anywhere you go, these examples are standard examples. So remember one example that will help you in all the exams. When you want to detect these molecules, whether it is a first isomer, second, third, they react quantitatively with silver nitrate. So since outside 3 chloride are present, this will combine with 3 moles of silver nitrate. It will produce 3 mole of AgCl. Let me show you this properly in case you have a doubt about this part.
Sir,
हाँ बोलो.
sir, can we use CaSO4.2H2O?
Yes, possible. No. As an example, you are saying?
Yes, sir.
No, that doesn't work as, the example which you are going to cite must be existing in 2-3 isomers. Calcium sulfate, you are asking CaSO4, na?
Yes, sir.
Calcium doesn't form any coordinate bond. Alkaline earth metal do not form any coordinate bonds. Okay, so that example won't work at all. See, if you have observed up till now, the element we are checking are D block elements always. S block elements do not form any coordinate bonds. That's the trouble. So let us understand this in a little bit detail.
So,
Well,
so how do we name these compounds? Like, do
that
they
is
have
in
any name?
next Wednesday lecture. We are going to do on nomenclature of IUPAC. That is unit 2. So our salt given was like this. So this can exist in different ways. One was Cr H2O 6 times Cl3. Now, if you try to dissolve this in water, this will give you CrH2O 6 times. This will not break down. 3Cl minus, so this will be plus 3. So this 3Cl minus can react with silver nitrate and it will produce 3 times AgCl white precipitate. On the contrary, if you take another isomer of it, Cr, now I'm taking H2O 5 times, 1 chlorine exchanged in place of water. So how this will ionize? So this will be Cr H2O 5 times Cl plus 2 times Cl minus. This water of crystallization merged with water cannot be seen here. This will be plus 2. Now this 2Cl minus will combine with 2 times silver nitrate to form 2 times AgCl. Have you all understood this perfectly well? सबके समझ में आ गया कैसे करना है? They can ask you directly a question about how many AgCl are produced from this particular complex. So as many chlorine you see outside, that is the number here. So one more exchange I will just show you. That will be Cl2, 1Cl, twice H2O. I hope if you follow now the link, You can come to a conclusion. This will produce 1 mole of AgCl. You can take a screenshot of this. This is what I mean here as my last line. You can read it again. I will do the corrections here of the number of water before sending it to you. We come to the last type of isomerism under structural, that's called coordination isomerism. Now, this is one of the most, I will say, easiest to recognize because of its typical structure. These isomers are those where the cation is a coordinate complex, even the anion is a coordinate complex. What I mean is like this. If you see this particular coordinate complex, where is the coordination part in it? Over here, square bracket.
Yeah.
But outside, it is just a normal anion, 3Cl minus. This is usually what you get everywhere. What we are going to have now in this one is, there will be a cation, there will be anion, both coordinated groups. This is where you have the coordination isomerism occurring. So recognize करने के लिए ये सबसे easy है, क्योंकि ऐसा structure आपको और कहीं दिखेगा नहीं पूरे chapter में, सिर्फ ये point पे अभी आएगा. So let us see this. There are two types under coordination. Number one, exchange of the metal ions to create isomers. So watch this one. You can see first square bracket is a cation, second square bracket is anion. First square bracket has cobalt, second bracket has chromium. You can see in the isomer, they have been exchanged. So to put it more technically, cobalt was present in the cationic part of the group. In the second one, it has gone to the anionic part. That is what you call as exchange of metal ions. You can see the ligands have kept as it is, not changed. Another example, copper in exchange with platinum. This was exchange of metal ions. Type 2 will be exchange of ligands. So now all of them are not exchanged perhaps sometimes. So you can see here chromium has remained same. You see chromium is same. There were 6 ammonia and 6 cyanides. Now 2 of them have been exchanged. So here you can see 4 ammonia, 2 cyanide, 4 cyanide, 2 ammonia. Another such example of exchange of ammonia and chlorine, 1 unit each have been exchanged. They will not ask in exam subtypes. Subtypes I have made so that you understand it easily. In books, you will find they give everything together. They never classify this type 1, type 2. This is my creation that you can understand it easily. वो लोग सब ऐसे example दे देते. आप लोग ढूंढते बैठो कौन सा type क्या है. So with this you can understand it easily. बोलो.
So the exchange can happen anyhow, right? Like
These are actual existing examples. So after exchange, the compound which you are getting should be stable and really existing. So that's why I'm saying that everywhere you should be properly doing it. उसमें क्या होता है? You need to check the valency correctly. You should not disturb the oxidation state. So all the things you have to manage. That is why you can remember one example each. These are not the things which you can create in exam time. That's why you can't like just from memory create an example and write it in exam. That's not possible here. So these examples should really exist in reality. Those only are the example we are giving. So this was all story of structural isomerism we did. We come to now the second part, stereoisomerism. From JE and NEET point of view, this section has been asked maximum up till now. The earlier part, what structural we saw, is more happens in CET and HSC. JEE and नीट में ये पार्ट यूजुअली ज्यादा पूछते हैं क्योंकि इसमें कॉम्प्लिकेशन ऑफ कोर्स ज्यादा है. We know the meaning of stereo. It is the spatial arrangement, space related arrangement of ligands, and it will be of two types we saw earlier, geometrical and optical. So under geometrical we will have cis and trans, under optical we'll have dextro and levo. So let us begin with geometrical isomerism. This is full of diagrams, structures and everything. This particular thing will happen first of all with heteroleptic complexes. I hope you recollect this term. Complexes where the ligands are different, multiple ligands. Homoleptic means same type of ligands. And the spatial arrangement of these ligands will be different. That will give rise to geometrical isomerism. We know the names already, cis and trans. Now understand the meaning. Cis and trans we know from alkenes chapter. Here the meaning will be two similar ligands are adjacent to each other. And in trans, two similar ligands are opposite direction to each other. So when we draw the structures, we will mark which direction the ligands are. We in our syllabus have only geometrical isomerism of coordination number 4 and 6. Any doubt on this page before we go ahead to the actual answers? So we will start with geometrical isomerism with coordination number 4. Coordination number 4 leads to two structures, either tetrahedral or square planar. Now tetrahedral, as we know, is like this. And if you read the last line, tetrahedral complexes do not have any geometrical isomerism. sp3 cannot have any geometrical isomerism because there is no such direction over here. If you see the molecule from one direction, if you see from other direction, it will look alike. So that's why there is no geometrical isomerism possible in this case. We will be obviously studying now square planar. So square planar we are going to classify. The first type is called MA2B2. अभी ये पूरे टॉपिक के एंड तक आपको ऐसे टाइप आएंगे, where M means the central metal, A will be certain ligand which is 2 times, B another ligand which is 2 times. Remember these notations. So एक टाइप ऐसे पॉसिबल है. इसमें आप देख सकते हैं कि कोई एक ग्रुप एक डायरेक्शन में, एक साइड में है, A and A. दूसरे में वो देखो ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में है. So this will be called cis, this will be called trans. Now for understanding, I'm giving an example here. Mostly the examples are same in all the textbooks. This is one example. Platinum, 2 ammonia on one side, which will be cis, and 2 ammonia on opposite side, which will be trans. I'm marking over here, which is my reference ligand over here. So my reference ligand in this case is A. Obviously, it could be B also, no problem at all. So when you have two things, one of the group is the reference ligand. A little extra information about this. These cis molecules in this case are found to be more water soluble than trans. This particular example here is called cisplatin, and this is used in treatment of cancer. Trans isomer is not having a medicinal value at all. The cis isomer is polar, and trans isomer, for obvious reason, zero dipole moment, because dipoles in both the opposite direction will cancel each other. With every case, you need to remember the type, the names, and one example. ये जो M का जो स्ट्रक्चर ऊपर ड्रॉ किया है जनरल, ये सिर्फ आपके समझने के लिए है. एग्जाम में इसको ड्रॉ करने की जरूरत नहीं. आपको ड्रॉ करने के लिए सिर्फ ये आएगा. Any doubt?
Sir, So in the compound, the charge is not given.
This is a neutral molecule. Oh, sorry. Here you are saying
Yes.
platinum 4 2. Yeah, this should have been 2 plus. Yeah.
Yes.
Any other doubt? This is done. First type under geometrical square planar MA2B2. Next one is MA2BC. So there will be M. My reference group is again A here, which is right now cis, you can see, and trans here. So in cis, the A groups are on same side, trans, they are on opposite direction. Another example here. Here you can see platinum, 2 ammonia here and ammonia here. So the reference groups once again are A groups here. I hope this is clear. Easy ones that way. Third type is M, A, B, C, D. All 4 groups are going to be different. Now, when all the 4 groups are different, obviously we cannot have any cis and trans here. So here the arrangement is quite different. Watch that I'm keeping A at a fixed position here. And in the second structure, I'm just exchanging positions of B and C. In next, I'm exchanging position of C and D. Is this understood? These are the 3 isomers. Remember, they are not cis and trans over here. We have an example here of this type, wherein I'm keeping A at the constant place. Now, in this example set, where is my A? You can see over here. Chlorine position is kept constant. And now you can see NH3Br is over here. In the next one, they have exchanged. And in the next one, NO2 and NH3 are exchanged. This is the next type called MABCD. 4 different ligands connected. Next type is called MAB2. When we are writing AB in a bracket here, this means it is a bidentate ligand. So bidentate ligand, you can see it's shown this way. This is a chelate which is produced here. So this AB, A is joining, B is forming a bond. Another one here you can see. And perhaps you can understand how it looks like a cis and how it looks like a trans. So obvious thing is the group is forming a chelate, but A and B have to be different. So if this is suppose some atom like nitrogen is donating atom, this might be oxygen or something else. So let us see an example here. Platinum connected to 2 glyoxime groups. Now this is one example wherein you can see NH2COCOCOO. So both amine groups are connected here to the carbon. This is in the opposite way. The ligand which I'm choosing here is glycine ligand. Perhaps bio students know about an amino acid glycine. That is the ligand here. And I have made in red color the donating atoms, nitrogen, and the third oxygen over here. Go through it. Any doubt? The only difficult thing in this is you have to remember so many examples, one example at least per isomerism.
So can you explain that how that third oxygen?
This one, check. NH2 is this NH2. CH2 is this CH2. This has C double bond O, O. So this is that last oxygen which is forming a bond.
But
Important thing is what you observed here, A and B. So here in this case, A is nitrogen, B is oxygen. A and B indicates the donor atoms. Here also nitrogen, oxygen. In the trans, nitrogen is in opposite direction, oxygen is in opposite. That is what we call as trans. जेई एग्जाम्स में उन्होंने एक दो बार ऐसे भी किया था, वो स्ट्रक्चर प्रिंट किए थे. इनफैक्ट स्ट्रक्चर अगर प्रिंट करते हैं तो इनफैक्ट बहुत इजी है याद करने के लिए, बिकॉज यू कैन रिकॉग्नाइज द पैटर्न. तो आप लोग ये पैटर्न से ध्यान रखो कैसे क्या एटम्स कनेक्ट होते हैं. इफ यू आर गुड इन रिकॉग्नाइजिंग द पैटर्न, ये टॉपिक आपके लिए बहुत इजी जाएगा. We give a summary of all the isomers we have taken in geometrical isomerism. Here we can see Ma4 and Ma3b do not show any isomerism at all. And the remaining 4 we saw right now. इसमें से देखो MABCD के लिए सिस ट्रांस कुछ लिखा नहीं है, only 3GI. GI means geometrical isomerism. Before an exam, what you can revise is always this thing. क्योंकि ऐसे भी क्वेश्चंस पहले नीट में आए हैं कि they give a formula and they ask how many isomers are possible. So this table gives you the count very easily. We now come to geometrical isomerism with coordination number 6. Now coordination number 6 will be octahedral. There's correction here, this should be 6. Octahedral indicates this type of geometry, sp3d2 hybridization. So octahedral geometry, there are some specific positions over here. There will be central metal atom at the center, 6 donors at the corners of the regular octahedron. Now you need to remember the positions by heart, and these positions don't change. This is 1, 2, 3, here 4, 5, and this below the plane 6. Let me little bit be explicit here. Perhaps ये diagram में जैसे आपको याद रखना है शायद आपके समझ में नहीं आएगा. See, this is the square you can imagine, or let me not draw the square, later on we will see. This is the square plane. This is the metal atom. These are the ligands. Now you can see over here, this one is in the plane. This is in the plane. So who are all present in the plane? Metal with 4 ligands. These are present in the plane. Then if you see this ligand is above the plane, and this ligand is below the plane. So number wise, if you see, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, then we complete the plane 4, 5, and down we come to 6. If I show you the geometry as such correctly, this is the flat central plane. Here is the point M, and the bonds are present in this way: 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and over here 6. If I join the apex of all the points, you can see this one, 1 and 2. This particular one is one triangular plane I can see. If you extend your imagination, you can see this will be the second front plane. There will be a third plane on left hand side of you, and fourth behind. So 4 triangular faces above, 4 triangular faces below. That is 4 plus 4, that is 8. That is why the name octahedron. Simple geometry, 3D geometry. So they are going to occupy these fixed positions only. My suggestion, you take a screenshot of this and Just now, immediately you remember all the 6 positions. Almost till the end of the chapter, we will need octahedral geometry to the maximum extent. Square planar ज्यादा नहीं आएगा, tetrahedral maybe one answer, बाकी सब कुछ अपने सिलेबस में octahedral का ही है. Now, when we are talking of cis and trans over here, there are some fixed positions given. Cis positions are out of this any one. So you can see first 4 are all with respect to 1. Group wise याद रखो, देखो इसको 1, so 1 2 1 3 1 4 1 5. So आपके दो ligands अगर 1 और 2 पर प्रेजेंट है तो उस आइसोमर को हम लोग सिस बोलेंगे. 1 2 की जगह 1 3 भी हो सकता है क्योंकि 2 और 3 वैसे कुछ ज्यादा डिफरेंट है नहीं. Similarly, here you can see 2 3 2 5 2 6. Same way 3 4 3 6. Like this, these are possibilities of cis. Under trans, we have very few. 1 6 exactly opposite. 2 4 opposite. 3 5 exactly opposite. In fact, trans is very easy to remember. This is like perhaps y-axis, x-axis, z-axis kind of thing. Now, taking help of this, now we are going to start with octahedral complexes. These 3 do not show any isomerism. These 3 show the isomerism. So we are going to study these 3 isomerism. So we start with first one, MA4B2. Once again, you can understand B2 will be our key ligand. तो ये दो B ग्रुप अगर सेम साइड में आएंगे तो वो सिस, ऑपोजिट में आएंगे तो ट्रांस. सो लेट अस सी, दिस इज द वन आई हैव टेकन इट फ्रॉम जीटीबी ओनली. तो आपके ये दोनों क्लोरीन देखो 1 2 पोजीशन पर है और इसी को हम लोग ने अगर ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में डाल दिया 1 6, they become trans. Quite easy to understand. This is not very difficult. Okay. Any doubt in this before I go ahead? Next is MA4BC. So here our groups are going to be B and C. So one example here is this one, where you can see chlorine and bromine are present as key ligands here. They decide cis and trans. And here they are on 1 and 6 position. Next is MA3B3. अभी ये टाइप आपके जीटीबी में ये साल पता नहीं क्यों कैंसिल कर दिया है और जेई और नीट में ये वन ऑफ द मोस्ट पॉपुलर टाइप है, एग्जाम में बहुत बार आया है. सो हियर द नेम इज एक्चुअली सिस बट दे टर्म इट यूजुअली एज facial. The abbreviation they write is FAC. What is the meaning of this one? You can see out of the 3, there are 2 pairs of 3 ligands, A3, B3. So if it occupies one of the triangular faces, मैंने आपको अभी 4 triangular faces ऊपर और 4 नीचे की तरफ दिखाए थे, उसमें से कोई भी एक अगर triangular face occupy हो रहा है, that is called a facial isomer. And second is called meridional isomer. Meridional में 3 ligands are in the flat plane. They will not be on the facial part, they will be in plane, one of the plane. They can be like, for example, here 2 3 5. They could be 3 4 5. ये ट्रायंगल भी कवर कर सकते हैं. ऐसे कोई कंपल्शन नहीं है कि इनका पोजीशन यही होना चाहिए. They could be anywhere. अभी ये वर्ड आपको शायद जिनको कुछ याद आ रहा है ज्योग्राफी या अपने ज्योग्राफी में शायद सुना होगा. सो वो लोग क्या इमेजिन करते हैं कि मेरिडियन जैसे होता है अर्थ का इमेजिनरी लाइन, सेम वे दे इमेजिन हियर दिस इज द मेरिडियन एंड थ्रू विच द लिगेंड्स आर प्रेजेंट. अभी मेरिडियनल निकालने के लिए आपके पास 2 टेक्निक है. एक तो आप ए के तरफ देख सकते हो, ए जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया था, एंड यू कैन सी दे आर प्रेजेंट इन वन सिंगल प्लेन. If you look at B, you will understand why is it called meridional. You can see this is the meridian. जैसे देखो ये रेड लाइन है ना, एग्जैक्टली सेम वे. तो उन्होंने एक्चुअली वैसे इमेजिन करके इसका नाम मेरिडियोनल दिया है. मैंने आपको थोड़ा और इजी करके दिया कि आप फ्लैट प्लेन इमेजिन करो और उसमें पोजीशन नंबर 1, 2 एंड 5, और यू कैन गेट 2, 3 एंड 5 ऐसे भी कवर हो सकता है. This is our facial and meridional isomers. So let us take the examples now of this one. That slide was only to explain what is facial and merid. अभी हम लोग proper देखेंगे. One example where you can see this is facial and this is meridional. You can see my trick works. आप लोगों ने flat plane में देखा तो you can see the meridional. Another example I found, rhodium connected to 3 chloride and 3 pyridine groups. So देखो ये facial है और देखो यहां पे अलग ट्रायंगल प्लेस किया है इस तरफ. दैट इज नंबर 3, 4 एंड 5 हैव बीन कंसीडर्ड. दैट्स आल्सो परफेक्टली ऑल राइट. ये आज के टॉपिक का टेस्ट आपका वेडनेसडे लेक्चर में होगा, यूनिट 2 जो आप कर रहे हो. लेट अस कम टू नेक्स्ट वन, MAA2B2. So here there will be a bidentate ligand and 2 simple ligands. So AA represent bidentate symmetrical ligand. If you remember, मैंने पहले आपको ग्लाइसिन दिखाया था, that was written as AB. मतलब नाइट्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन अलग एटम्स थे. यहां पे ऐसे नहीं है, यहां पे दोनों एटम्स सेम रहेंगे. सो एग्जांपल्स कॉमनली वी यूज आर इथिलीन डायमाइन एंड ऑक्सालेट. सो जैसे एग्जांपल इथिलीन डायमाइन लेके किया है, देखो ये वाला. Now let me explain this particular structure to all of you. Let me show the structure first, cis and trans, then we'll go for the explanation. अभी ये जो इथिलीन डायमाइन स्ट्रक्चर है वो हम लोग इस तरह से लिखते हैं, CH2, CH2 and NH2. This is ethylene diamine ligand. Nitrogen is the donating group. So suppose as we saw right now, cobalt और उसके 6 bonds are present. So this is suppose connected with the ethylene diamine groups. This is CH2 twice. And here some monodentate ligands are present. So if you have seen the structure as such, you can see this is the octahedral structure. So these are position number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Obviously, this takes a lot of time to draw. So what they do is they write it this way. CO, for example, here ClCl. They just write ethylene diamine as En and they draw these round lines. This is a very popular way of drawing ethylene diamine. Same way, if you see oxalate ligand. So oxalate ligand is this way, COO and COO. So if cobalt is connected to a oxalate ligands, they just write OX, OX, and whatever remaining ligands. This is a shortcut notation which your textbook also has used this year. GTB also has written structures in this manner. Just to give a little of thing, this nomenclature was discovered by a scientist who has an Indian origin. It's called De and Datta notation. This shortcut notation was suggested by an Indian scientist and it has been used worldwide last almost 40 years now. Take a screenshot.
Sir,
You will
the
need,
bonds here will be coordinate bonds, right?
of
They're
course,
not
all of them. Or you're doing a coordinate bond chapter. Every bond is
I
coordinated.
thought the arrow is.
Arrows is not necessary to show. Absolutely. In the beginning of topic, when you're learning, we show arrows. Later on, it is all normal bonds only. It's not at all compulsory to show arrows every time. If you show the normal structure, it's acceptable everywhere. So this is what I showed you as ethylene diamine. Henceforth, if you see this, understand it's ethylene diamine. So just to mark cis and trans, you can see cis here and trans here. So summary of our all possible octahedral structures. Actually, so many octahedral structures are possible. We have, of course, not done so many in our syllabus. Even in JEE and NEET syllabus also, they don't go for all the details. So they just give a table. And if you come across any of these types, you should know how many isomers are possible. We have just done perhaps 3-4 types, but so many are there. At your level, they don't ask you to draw. In fact, up till now, if you see past exam questions, in fact, they have never asked anything beyond what NCERT has given. But just for safety, more types have been given. We come to the last part of the topic, optical isomerism. We know what is optical isomerism. These two isomers will be mirror images of each other. They will be called enantiomers. And there will be two types, dextro and levorotatory. Levo spelling is wrong there. We are going to study 4 types of dextro and levo isomers, what you can see here. So we'll take one by one. And last point you can see here, square planar does not show optical isomerism. Tetrahedral theoretically can show, but practically nothing has been isolated yet. Dextro levo, they are not able to separate up till now. So for our sake, it doesn't exist. So now one by one type MAA3. So cobalt with 3 ethylene diamine. You can see this is one dextro and its mirror image levo. For HSC, what is difficult over here is the positions of ethylene diamine you should know very well. That means here, first group is connecting first and second. Next is connecting third and sixth. And next fourth and fifth. If you show something different, that will not be a correct example. That will not be a correct isomer. So you need to remember these structures exactly. While studying for exams, my suggestion is you remember one example. उसका mirror image draw करना difficult नहीं है. Mirror image is very easy to draw. At least dextro आप लोग याद रखो. Same way when you take the oxalate ligand, it's absolutely identical, you can see. Next we have is MAA2B2, or instead of B2, you can have BC also. Now here things are a little different. I am taking only B2 wala example, BC remains quite same. Now this is an example where you can see ethylene diamine is present at these fixed positions. Chlorine is in cis form, cis. This is also cis. So ये dextro levo. अगर क्लोरीन ट्रांस के फॉर्म में आ गया, so it will look like this. Now if you observe carefully, this has a very good plane of symmetry. So जिस मॉलिक्यूल में plane of symmetry रहता है, वो ऑप्टिकली इनएक्टिव होगा. ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री में हम लोग इसको मेसो आइसोमर बोलते थे. So the tartaric acid we did dextro, levo and meso. So this is what you have here also. So actually speaking, ये और ये structure अलग नहीं है, ये एक ही structure है. So this is structure 1, this is structure 2 and this together is structure 3. हमारे printed notes में मैंने इसको दोनों मिला के एक ही structure लिखा है. आप देख सकते हैं meso I have given only one. Another type over here, this one, type is same, just example is different. Here also you have dextro, levo and meso. This type is not mentioned in NCERT, not in GTB, not in our notes also. I'm getting this extra for JE students. This is a type where you have only one AA, B2 and C2. ये structure में आपको meso structure नहीं आएगा. And one very horrible structure which is given only in the JE books is EDTA. अभी आप लोग एकदम शांति से देखोगे तो ये कोबाल्ट है. And EDTA, if you remember, had 2 nitrogen donors and 4 oxygen, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is one EDTA which you can see where nitrogen is present on our right hand side. इसका mirror image देखेंगे तो nitrogen आपके left side में present है. This is dextro, this is levo. You don't have to go for details of it. Just remember the name formula. Obviously, structure is not needed. Last, we go for summary of isomerism in optical. We have done MAA3, AA2B2, AA2BC, and this one. Remaining types we have not done. They are only in the table, not given in the book.